Hi, my name is Robben Ford, and this is a class for Guitar Part magazine. I thought it would be good to discuss something that I've particularly worked many years to develop, which is this combination of blues and jazz being played at one time. Jazz basically, is a kind of an indefinite word, but what it's really referring to, I think, for the most part, is improvisation. And so it's improvising at a slightly more sophisticated level, maybe than you hear in blues music. Although for me, the two things have always been synonymous. It's, I have a great love of blues guitar, and I have a great love of jazz saxophone players. So my style developed out of listening to people like B.B. King, and Mike Bloomfield was a big influence, Eric Clapton, Jimi Hendrix. But when it came to the guitar, in jazz, for some reason I never really clicked all that much with that, and found my interest in jazz to be more in saxophone players. So the first thing that you have to do if you want to be able to incorporate jazz into your blues playing is to learn chords. And you have to have some good idea of the scales that run through these chords. For instance, in a blues, some person might play this. I don't really do that. I'm more likely to be playing something. So these are different chords that you can play off of blues. So obviously there are a lot of different things going on harmonically, and it creates the possibility to play a variety of different things. So this first chord, G13, you can play standard blues over it, no problem. Just for a footnote here, this is kind of the jazz voicing of a G13 chord. 13 because basically it's G7 with a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 with the 13th added. Otherwise it's just G7. So that 13 is a really creates a situation where you can have a passing tone coming from if that's the 13th, that's the flat 13th, to the 4 chord, in this case C9. And when you play that chord right here, this is a different harmonic structure. And this would be, I would refer to it as an altered chord. I think that's the standard way of referring to it. So this is G altered. It's also G flat 13. It's another way of saying the same thing. Or G raised 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Raised. All the same chord. So you can call it anything you want. But that's the important thing is to know is what do you play over it. what you play over that is a G altered scale. So instead of playing, which is the scale you'd play over a G7 chord, I always used to call that the G7 scale. We won't go into that, but in any case, G7. Now we have a different scale here because of this altered tone. And the scale is this. To the C chord. This scale can be referred to as half diminished, half whole tone. And the diminished scale is a series of half step, whole step, half step, whole step, half step, whole step. Just keeps going, half step, whole step. So the first two tones here, half step, whole step, half step, whole step. Now whole tone is a series of whole steps. So so we have half diminished, half step, whole step, half step, whole step, whole step, whole step, whole step. So half diminished, half whole tone is one way of describing that particular scale. Or I think it could be called the G altered scale. I believe that would be correct. It can also be referred to as the A flat melodic minor. So that means starting a half step above G. Same scale. We're just starting at the half step above and playing what's called the melodic minor scale. But we are starting on G. Same scale. So you know, you can make up licks with the scale of your own. There are some very traditional licks that everybody has played over that particular scale. Once your ear gets attuned to the scale, you start hearing these things, you know, happen in every jazz player's, playing. He'll know some of these licks that everybody just plays. They're just traditional kind of jazz cliche licks. And I can play one of them for you right here. So if we hit this chord, G13, now we're going to the altered one. Okay, so this is basically, it's like a D flat 9. To C, and it's a little arpeggio. So from the altered chord to the C chord. That's a little better. So 1, 2, 3, 4. That's the altered chord, the altered scale. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now those are two very different things, right? You have this very funky blues guitar at the end of it, but you have this hip little jazz lick at the front of it. And these are the kind of things that run through my playing, just all over the place. One minute I'm playing something from Wes Montgomery, and the next minute I'm playing something from Lightnin' Hopkins, you know. And I had a friend who said to me, why don't you make up your mind? Because he heard this in my playing, and he was a great jazz player, is a great jazz player, Roger Kellaway. And I never did. I never made up my mind. I just went my own way with it, you know, using jazz phrasing pretty liberally in very traditional blues playing. So once again, if we're playing, that's really the chord progression here. This altered chord, 13, flat 13, G flat 13. If you put a D flat in it, you're playing a D flat 13 chord. So it's kind of a D flat 13 arpeggio. Now I just played using the same notes basically there. Again. So this should be a start in terms of bringing a little bit of jazz phrasing into your world, and also maybe a new scale. This half diminished, half whole tone. So learn how to play it all over the guitar. You know, don't just learn it here. Keep going. So there you go. So thank you very much. I hope you learned something from this little session we had together.